Hi everyone, so welcome from my channel. Have you ever wondered what could derail your business operation? From small hiccup to big disruptions, an operational risk may pop up anywhere and affect your business success. So the risk assessment became the critical rules in the risk management system. Today in this video, I would like to share how to make the risk assessment by means of the failure mode effect analysis based on my research. The research was conducted in 2019, focusing on the construction projects in Yangon. 10 construction projects of all types, small, medium, and large, were selected by means of judgmental sampling method. The objective was to explore what are the potential operational risks in the construction projects and introducing the way to mitigate them. Failure mode effect analysis was used as the risk assessment tool in that research. Now let's start how to use the failure mode effect analysis as the risk assessment tool. Generally, failure mode effect analysis comprises the 5 steps. Step 1, risk identification. Step 2, defining the risk attribute. Step 3, calculations of risk level and establishing risk matrix model. And step 4, calculations of the risk ranking number. And the step 5, determinations of the risk priority. Now let's start with the step 1, risk identification. Risk identification means exploring the conditions that affect on the objectives of your organization. In my research, risk identification means exploring the conditions that affect the dimension of the construction, quality, times and cost of the construction. For example, in any construction project, if the poor competencies of workmanship occur, this will impact on the quality of the construction. This will delay the time schedule for the construction, and it can impact on the higher cost for the construction. So like these conditions, poor competency of workmanship can be identified as the risk. And it is occurred due to the risks of poor identifications, monitoring and evaluations of the appointment and assignment of the workforce and labor in the construction projects. So in this way, we can identify the risks and resources in our construction projects. In this step 2, we have to define the risk attribute. In my research, 3 risk attributes of likelihood, severity, and detections were used based on the 3 legal scales of high, medium, and low. The first one is the likelihood. Likelihood means the chance of occurrence of the risk during the construction process. If the chance of occurrence is higher, its likelihood value will be high and represent 3. If the chance of occurrence is lower, the likelihood value becomes low and it will represent 1. In my research, like the risk, poor documented information is mostly occur in most of the construction projects. So its likelihood value will be high and it represents 3. But for the conditions like incomplete design provisions, it's rarely occur in the construction projects. So its likelihood value becomes lower and it represents 1. The second one is the severity. Severity means the intensity of impact on the dimension of the construction. If the impact is on all dimensions, quality, times and cost of the construction, its severity value will be high and represent 3. But if the impact is only on one dimension, like the cost of the construction, so its severity value will be low. It will represent 1. In my research, if the poor competency of workmanship occur during the construction projects, this will impact on all dimensions of the construction, quality, times and cost. So its severity value is high and it represents 3. But for the conditions like inaccurate completion schedule, this will impact on both times and cost of the construction. So its severity will be medium and it represents 2. The third one is detection. Detection means the extent of preventions to eliminate or reduce risks. If the deduction level is higher, this means it can reduce the occurrence of the risk. So its value will be low. If the deductions level is very low, it means it can increase the occurrence of the risk, and its values will be high. For example, in my research, risks like the political and regulatory changes, if there is occur, the deduction values will be low. So its value will represent 3. But for the condition like safety precautions during the construction project, the deductions level is high. So its value will represent 1. In this way, we can define the value of the risk attributes in our construction projects. In this step 3, based on the value of risk attributes, we can calculate the risk level by multiplications of the value of likelihood and the severity. In this way, we can classify the risk as high risk, medium risk, and the low risk. Based on the risk categories, we can establish 3x3 risk matrix model. If we use the 5 Likert scale, we can establish the 5x5 risk matrix model. In this step 4, based on the risk level, we can calculate the risk ranking number for each risk by multiplications of the risk level with the deduction value. The highest the risk ranking number value, it means it is the most important to eliminate or reduce this type of risk. In this way, we can calculate the risk ranking number for each risk. Based on the risk ranking number, in step 5, we can determine which risks are our first priority to eliminate or reduce during our project. So this is the brief introduction of how to use the failure mode effect analysis as the risk assessment tools in my research. If you are interested in more, you are invited to visit my research paper by typing the topics of Study of Risk Assessment for Implementations of 2MS in the Construction Industry in Myanmar. Thanks for your watching. If you think this is a helpful videos, please like, share and subscribe my channel. And please keep in touch in comments what's your opinions on my research findings. See you in the next video.